right, we're back with another episode of What's on Your Watch List, and I'm having fun with this series. But before we get started, got to go through the basics on here. And if you know how this goes, say it with me. Everyone has their opinion. I do as well. That being said, if you want to come on here and have a discussion or you want to comment on something, let's do that. If you want to come on here with the intent of trolling, we're not going to do that. So we want to make this as fun as possible for as many people as possible. So trolling is not allowed. All right, so that's the first part that's on here. The second part, and this is right up there, along right next to that, in how important this is. We're going over these things and breaking these down episode by episode as it goes through here, hopefully gaining some interest and talking to some people who have already seen these things. If you haven't, don't just take my word for what's going on here. You need to watch these things. That being said, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You have been warned. All right, so we are talking about the Winchesters. Winchesters. Now, I did my last one was over episodes 1 and 2. This one is going to be over episode 3. That is currently what is out here right now. It's on the CW. It drops, I believe, on Tuesday nights on CW, and then you're able to stream it on Wednesdays. As the way that I am doing that. So, if you're not familiar with this, if you haven't seen the other episode that I did on this one, you need to go back and watch that one for one thing. But if you're going to stick around, you've already been warned about the spoilers. Winchesters is a spinoff of the Supernatural series. Supernatural went on for 16 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, 16 or 17. It was a good amount. Awesome, epic series. So whenever this came out, I was very hesitant to start watching because I didn't want to leave on such a high note of what happened with Supernatural, and as long as they went with that and the way that they ended it, so I won't say perfectly because we're a little upset on how it ended, but still, it was ended in a way that was befitting of the series. We'll put it that way. So whenever this one came out, I finally watched, binged 1 and 2 episodes on there, did my review on there. Whenever episode 3, I was chomping at the bit to get on here and get this done. And again, you're going into this thinking, man, what if this thing is not up to par of what I'm thinking, then this is not going to be good, right? Well, they did not disappoint yet again. I'm going to say episode 3 right on par where it needs to be. The storyline is that, of course, someone's missing, which is Mary's father. They're trying to look for Mary's father, and in the process, they run into the family business of things, which is hunting things, helping people. So you're dealing with the paranormal aspects of monsters and witchcraft and demons and all kinds of things like that. And these are not superheroes by any means. They have knowledge on how to fight some things, and for the most part, you're starting to really see, and it really showed off in this episode, that they have to research on the fly. So they're going along and they have no idea how to take care of something, and they have to learn how to deal with it immediately. I mean, like immediately. So this episode deals with the Gory Baba. Correct me if I'm wrong on the pronunciation on that. Indian in descent is the creature from what I saw on there. It shows up in a knapsack of something that you want, that you've lost, that has great meaning to you. So then you're all excited because you open up the sack and whatever you had lost in there, you finally got it. You grab a hold of it. And once you grab a hold of that, and the Gory Baba comes out of the sack and grabs a hold of you, drags you back into the sack, and the sack disappears. Yeah, yeah, okay. So now that I've got your attention. So the neighbors to Mary, some kids that are over there that she watches whenever the parents, the mother is away driving truck. She finds out that the girl is actually been, she's missing. Can't figure out what's going on. She never leaves the house or anything. So, here goes the Monster Hunter Club, as they call it, to go ahead and go in there and find out what's going on. In the process, Mary herself decides to go ahead and confront this thing head on, says she can go ahead and kill it in its own realm. So she figures out something that she wants to find that is lost, and ends up in that realm. The story that goes along with this really picks up because John figures out that if it's something that you want that has been lost, that you have got so much of a tie to it, you got something that ties you directly to it. If you're willing to give it up and go ahead and destroy it in that realm, then you're back into the real world all over again. So whenever that happens, you're back over in the real world. The Gory Baba is stuck over there, which is really ticked off at that point because it likes scaring its victims and just spending its time taunting them and then feeding on them very slowly. Yeah, it's messed up. So John figures out a way to go ahead and get them back. Mary reluctantly, finally, goes ahead and gives up the item that she had wanted in there so much, which happens to be her dad's hat. And she ends up burning it, and as soon as she does, then she's back. And then the Gory Baba shows up, and that's whenever John decides to behead that thing, and it's done. Now, as if that alone was not enough to draw you into the series because of that episode, at the very end, we get another peek at what's going on with Eucrida, which is this. It's not even demons, because demons are incredibly, scared of this group that's there. The leader of the Eucrida is a female. That's all we know, because a demon had given up that knowledge. And we don't know who it is, but we do know at the very end we find out who it is, because she's the one who is doing the late night thing on the radio station, where she's actually DJing over there, and the soft, sultry speaking of the voice, talking about, let's bring out all of those dark things tonight, and while we play the music by such and such, and gets into it. And it's like you're kind of sitting there going, okay, what is going on here? And then one of these spider crab xenomorph looking things shows up there in front of her with the head of the Gory Baba, presents it to her. She simply opens up one of those vials like she had done in episode before, and it pops like a life force, basically pops out of that thing and into the vial, glowing, and she smiles slyly like she's just picked up something else. What is she doing? Why is she doing all of this? How powerful is she? These are things that we're starting to ask those questions, and the foreshadowing is definitely there, building up to it. Again, I'm going to tell you right now, if you liked Supernatural, then you're going to absolutely love this series. The fact that Jensen and his wife are actually co-producers on this, it gives it that true feeling of a Supernatural spinoff. It gives it that true feeling of, if we could go ahead and run the dial back, all the way back before Supernatural started, and then redo and start again, this is what that has, without having the feel of being a remake. That's what's amazing. The way that they did this is phenomenal, and how it's set up, because it's a standalone story, but if you know the story beforehand, it really starts kicking in and making sense for some things. There's a lot of aha moments in there for all of us Supernatural fans who are truly into the series that way. So, Jensen and everybody involved in this, thank you very much for doing what you're doing on this. Keep doing it, by all means. And I'll be reviewing this thing every single week as it comes out. Looking forward to it. And if I'm not mistaken, I keep seeing little Easter egg peeks of Baby in certain parts of town, which I think is interesting because, of course, Baby is the very well-known Impala from the Supernatural series, which was the awesome car that saved the world. True story. And if you don't believe me, watch the series. Talk about it. So let me know in the comments what you think about the series, what you think's going on and everything. If you don't want to give up spoilers or anything in the comments, which I have no problem if you do or don't, because everybody's been warned. But if you want to go ahead and reach out, just reach out to me. We'll chat about it, find out what you know, and what you think you know, what I think I know, and see where this thing's going. But I'm looking forward to it. The Winchesters is a great ride, and I'm anxiously looking forward to seeing how they're going to go ahead and finish this thing up. We're only into episode 3, and this thing doesn't end until I believe the first or second week of January. So you're going to have me every single week on here talking about new episodes all the way through that point. Definitely looking forward to it. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for paying attention, watching. And if you're enjoying what you're seeing and everything here, please remember to go ahead and like, subscribe, and share today. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any of this content. I've got currently on what's in your watch list, I've got the Winchesters, which we were just talking about, and Andor. Whenever those two are done, which are almost at the exact same time, I believe Andor ends the week before or 2 weeks before, then I'll choose 2 more to go ahead and take their places and keep this going consistently as possible. So if you have some ideas, something you would like me to watch or review on there, let me know. And it doesn't always have to be consistent for some of them. Let me know if there's something that you would love to see a review on, and I will definitely do that as well. So thank you very much for being here. Make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and share today. Share it out so more people have the opportunity to get some eyes on here, and we'll see what we can come up with from there. But until then, I always got to ask, what's on your watch list?